This isn't even their final form.
And we won't see that probably ever again.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
And that's awesome to see.
No matter what, we're gonna be rich.
Yeah. I see that.
That is certainly interesting.
Wait, what now?
Oh,
Wait,
lethal!
hold on. Well then.
Oh my god.
They came in the right order too.
Red, 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 red.
Oh yeah. Wait, what now? Oh yeah. Oh yeah, indeed. Guys, I have not been this hyped for a tavern talk in a long fucking time. One of the best document lineups I've seen in a long time. Got some spicy memes to talk about, the kind that'll burn your asshole tomorrow. We got some awesome fucking news from week one. We got some scary outlooks for week two. We got the first ever edition of Team Rank 5's rankings. Fucking hype all over the place. We're going to have our buddy Pumbus with us tonight, coming off of his blog week. If you guys did not read his blog over on TeamHearthLeague.com under the blogs tab, give that a look while we're, memeing it up today. Our house rules for the evening. As always, when you feel anything, I'm feeling surprisingly sober right now. I did take a pre-Tavern Talk shot, but usually I've pre-gamed quite a bit more than I have right now. As Mange said, we are in uncharted territory with the nearly sober Jacksox. I apologize in advance for that. The triumphant return of the Power Rankings Power Hour. Guys, I don't have the Beard of Beauty here to keep track of when you should be drinking, so you guys have to be responsible for yourselves on that one. Zuladin. I'm just going to leave it there. And then whenever Brunson gets timed out, because that's pretty much a Tavern Talk given. So I don't see him in chat yet. If he's not here, we might change that person that gets timed out, but I guarantee you somebody will fucking get timed out tonight because you guys are all a bunch of cucks. Anchoring us down the corner, sitting on his fucking pile of potatoes, is the king of all potato farmers himself, Mr. Mange. How are you this evening, sir?
I'm fantastic. How are you guys?
Really good, especially seeing as out of all the things I did do tonight, the one thing I did not do, Nade took about 10 seconds to point out, and that is that our guest is still named the Anarchist, which is clearly not true because our guest this evening, and I might as well introduce him now, is the king of the new Beast Druid. You know what? I'm taking the mantle of my Razor Fen Beast Druid meme deck off, and I'm putting it firmly on Pumbaa's shoulders and putting faith in his Zuladin that it could rise to be the next Mech Priest. If you guys don't know the days of my Mech Tyson, go way back in the YouTube video archive, look for a Salty Saturday from way back when, and you guys will see some spicy memes. But Pumbaa, how are you tonight, man?
I'm good. Excited to be here. Talk about how good of a deck Zuladin is.
Oh, it's so good. It's so good, guys. And you know what? Fuck any of you that don't appreciate it. I'm going to say that right up front. So that was about like 10 Zuladins, so fucking let's go.
Yeah, it's true.
Got him, indeed. All right, I got to get this awesome doc up that's got so much shit going on. I just closed it. I just closed the entire fucking document. So, guys, we were supposed to have the boys from 1600 Dust on tonight. But unfortunately, I don't know if that's ever going to be able to happen because their podcast happens right now. I don't know if they go live with it or if it's recording time is right now, but they are in direct conflict with us here at Tavern Talk. So maybe we could get them on one of our other shows to say what's up. But if you have not yet checked out 1600 Dust as a podcast, please do. Awesome guys over there. And, they had a fantastic week one. Team 1200 PR. So just wanted to shout that out there. So we're going to dive right into week one, man. Fuck it. Why waste any time? Let's get right into it. So we're going to approach this a little differently this week. So I asked our guest and my beautiful co-host down there sitting on his potato pile to talk about their upset of the week. And this is an overall team matchup. And I wanted to be careful about the word upset, so I'm also calling upsets unexpected victories. Because it may not have been like a true upset, but the result was not the way we thought it was going to go. So we'll kick things off with Mange first. Mange, tell us about what you thought was the most unexpected victory of Week 1.
Yeah, so I'm gonna go with the damage ones over Avatar. I, yeah, well, like I don't think it's like this massive upset, despite the disparity in the power preseason power ranking. Because Avatar has a new middle of the roster, like people are playing a new seed, and that can be a tough adjustment. But yeah, I think it was a really, really nice win for the damaged ones, and a pretty good first step to climb out of the basement of the power rankings that they hate so much.
Pumbas, you're on the losing side of this. I
Yes, I
know
am.
I know that a lot of people gave you shit this week because of Zuladin. I had to say it again. Um, but it was a close one, man. How did you guys feel about the matchup before the week, and how shocking was the result to you guys within the team when it was all said and done?
Well, we picked up Brunson, and we thought that was probably going to be the one match we were going to lose, but it didn't work out that way. Um, a lot of us from chats and Discord, I didn't actually watch the other matches, but it seemed like a lot of the matches really just came down to really great Yogs. And I know our 5 seed Zapker was like, he was just completely pissed off after his match. Nothing went right. Everything that could go wrong went wrong. So that was just kind of the story of his match and Lemur's. Lemur got real upset. Uh, but, I mean, we scored 14 points, which was the same amount we scored Week 1 last season. So if we were going to lose, that was probably the best way we could do it.
So for those of you who haven't looked, every match except G-Nets versus Houdini went all 5 games. So when we're talking about as close of a loss as you can have, they're 1 game off of it. And 14 points is still respectable, and while they may have a 0-1 record, 14 compared to what the rest of their division scored still only puts them 2 points off of first within the. Or sorry, I forgot about the +3 bonus. It still only puts them 5 points off of one in the division and 7 points ahead of third place. So not the worst spot you could be in, but I'm sure you guys will like the win over there. And I hate to
Yeah, it
say
would
it,
have been
man, but
nice.
I hate to say this, but when Brunson is one of 2 people carrying your team, come on, Avatar,
Oh, man.
just come on. So Pumbas, I know it's me next in the lineup. I'd be rude if I didn't ask my guest first. Who you thought was the most unexpected victory of Week 1?
I'm going to go with the Yog Champs, because coming into the season, I thought Team Golden Wisp was going to be one of the better teams in the league, especially in blue. I thought the blue division was going to be owned by Golden Wisp, and either them or Netherstorm. So, I mean, and we beat Yog Champs last season, so I figured a better team could. But, their 4 seed won 3-0, which was probably the biggest factor in that entire match, and then Dunamis was the only loss and lost horrifically. I don't know if I could play Hearthstone after losing like that.
Yeah, so the 3-2s on coin flips and RNG and just life in general or misplays. All of the above feel bad. Um,
Yeah.
and initially looking at this one, Mange, I know that you and I kind of had the thought of the Yacht Champs this season. They look pretty good.
Yeah.
Were you shocked that they got the 18 to 8 victory, or were you in the boat that I kind of was in as well of thinking Team Golden Wisp would put up a little more than 8 points this week?
No, I thought it actually went expected from my point. Like, I don't know. I think the Archamps are a pretty good team, especially their 1 through 3. And Lord Forehead had a pretty good season 4 last year, so I kind of expect them to win. I think the Golden Wisps still have issues to iron out, and I wasn't really that surprised. I guess I don't know.
I do have to say, a bright spot for Golden Wisp is Double Dose comes in as advertised. It
Yeah.
does get victory off of a known name such as Dunamis.
Yeah.
Granted, Hearthstone is Hearthstone, but he won.
I did
So
it with Priest.
Donomus had a chance to play around the Malagos eye for an eye and did not. He did not armor up first, and
No.
that it seems silly, but like, you know,
well, it's you gotta play around.
play around it
You gotta play around it. Eye for an eye is auto include these days. If you guys didn't know.
every day.
So my upset of the week goes to the Danger Zone over the Noobs. I was hyped as fuck on the Noobs preseason, and nothing has changed. I still think the Noobs roster overall looks fantastic. You have to feel good having a one seed like Ray C going through the lineup they have, or the not the lineup, the division they have. Orange is stacked. Um, green, one seed's probably where green is pretty decent. You got well respected people like G Nets over there. You got Drew Man over there trying to climb up to that 500 PR. Although last week was a struggle, but still close loss for him. They do have some question marks in the 2 and 3 spot, but their 4 and 5 are some of the best in the business. So I was shocked that the Noobs didn't lock it down, sneaking out a win somewhere in that 2 or 3, and then locking up 2 out of the 3 wins in their 1, 4, and 5. Danger Zone coming out with Yellow puts up a tough fight against Ray C. Anytime you could take a player like Ray C 2-5 games, you gotta feel good about that. So being a new legend player in here, your first opponent's Ray C, and you come out with a 2-3 loss, I wouldn't hang my head at all. That's a pretty good showing for your first appearance in THL. Vendy comes out strong, puts Thor Smash down. Gideon Echo is continuing to do what Gideon Echo does. 3-0 in Cutthroat, who used to be one of the scariest names in this league. Cutthroat, man. Quiplash is a thing.
Even so already left the league.
I'm just going to say
That's
that.
bad, man.
Literally knocked him into retirement.
And you got to sub losing to Josh Sampson. Danger Zone, I don't know, man. You guys might be the real deal, and you might be a little bit lower on my preseason rankings than where you should have been. Maybe I should have listened to some of the smarter minds. Way to pull out a huge win against a team that I think has the potential to be a Final Four team this season. So, don't hang your heads, though, noobs. I don't expect this to be a theme for you guys. And good luck with your next matchups. So now this is a different statement. What we just did was kind of like unexpected upset, right? This is straight up your shocker of the week. This could be a great victory for an individual player, or this could be, damn, I did not expect that from that team. So this could go either good, bad, or otherwise. It's just a shocking fact for you guys. Mange, I liked yours. Yours is one that I thought about putting down there. So tell us about it.
Yeah, so I was pretty surprised that Crayon swept Jedi. I've played them both, and I thought that they're both pretty equal in skill, and so I expected that to be a really good match. And then Crayon just came out and took them to the woodshed. So, like Crayon's an untested 3 seed, and that was like a really nice first 3 seed win for him.
Yeah. He's one of the things that we kind of, I don't want to say hated on, because I don't think anybody's ever truly hated on Crayon, but a lot of the question marks is a great deal of his success has been in the 4 seed. And he's always benefited from having an awesome team above him that puts him in a position where he could dominate in a seed that he should not be in. So seeing him move up to the 3 seed and take on Jedi and just demolish him, I don't know, man. Do you think this was rust for Jedi, or do you think that Crayon's just this big of a stud?
Maybe both. I mean, I know Jedi probably wasn't playing a whole lot of competitive Hearthstone during his retirement. He was retired for like 2 or 3 seasons. Sometimes it takes a minute to get back into the swing of it. I also think Crayon is probably going to be a pretty good player in the 3 seed for NWA.
Yeah, definitely not a bad player there. I guess he's okay. Pumbas. Tell us about your shocker of the week, man.
Well, going into the week, especially over in our Discord chats, I had talked about how I thought Gemini was going to be a lock in the series, and it just didn't end up being that way. So I gave it to Chase, the Anarchist. I wasn't like that surprised to see that he won the series, but when I saw that it was 3-0, I was just like, I don't know what just happened, but I don't know if that was a DQ, and then we checked and it wasn't. Um, but I guess he just had a really good series, so kudos to him. But I was shocked when I saw that.
So I was in the same mindset as you of I'll be honest with you guys, man. If Chase doesn't go at least 5-2 this season, if the Anarchist doesn't go at least 5-2 this season, I will be surprised. Um,
Damn.
yeah,
Wow.
I don't want Jinx.
Pressure's on now, Parker.
I don't want Jinx the guy at all. But
Done.
I think when it's all said and done, um, he's gonna have a stud of a record this season. He's working really hard at the game. Um, I pop in occasionally to the Discord and it hurts my brain what those guys are talking about. Um, but 3-0 and a player I think very highly of Gemini. So to 3-0 a player like Gemini coming out the gates feels good, man, and definitely a good pick on the shocker of the week. Not surprised you won though, Anarchist. Not at all. But
Yeah, neither am I.
surprised it was in that fashion.
Hmm.
So
Yeah, that raised a lot of questions for me with Netherstorm. I mean, they got killed the first week, and should have been. That's a matchup that they have to win to have success because of the small 2 seed they have. They
hey,
really need to win with the MVP and the runner-up MVP.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Um,
agree.
and that we'll touch on that a bit more here in a minute. So I'm going to throw my shocker of the week out to Mark Shire going down to Salt. Um, I thought about putting this one into like originally when we were talking about unexpected wins of the week. I was going to do players or team, but decided that to have that just be a team thing because we know what happens when we single players out for being upset or not playing to the hype that they have. Read between the lines there. You guys will know what I'm talking about. But
Yeah.
Mark Shire is one of those dudes that I kind of fanboy in this league because I think he's just that big of a stud, and every time he plays, I expect great things out of him. Um, and I'm not surprised that Salt had a shot of winning. I was kind of thinking this one would go 3-2, 3-1 at the minimum. But seeing Mark Shire lose hurt. And I'm sorry, Salt, if you're in the chat, but I got to call you out on this. There were so many opportunities to punish misplays that did not get punished. I don't know if it was anything Mark Shire could have done, but usually when somebody has 2 or 3 misplays against Mark Shire, that's all he needs. So I was shocked by it. I don't know. Did you guys catch that one on the Salty Saturday?
Yeah, I did.
Yep. Yep. I think it's every time I actually get to watch Salt live, the craziest things happen. I remember last season I saw him like with Doomhammer take a taunt to the face like 4 times and somehow still won the game. I was like, oh my
The
gosh.
take 28 plan.
Oh man.
Ain't no
Every time
thing.
I see him live though, he wins these types of games.
Yeah, he has this ability to just pull rabbits out of his ass. I don't know how he does. But yeah, I mean he played a little sloppy and but at the end of the day he came home with the 4 points, right? So
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm sure that's all that he cares about.
Hey,
That's all that he should care about.
the thing that's great about Mark Shire is I know for a fact that he's like already on to week 2. Shit
Yeah.
happens. He's kind of like a pitcher that just let up a home run. Next batter, please.
Yeah. I mean if you're caught up on something that happened in a Hearthstone match, you're gonna have a really bad time.
For real. Because RNGesus doesn't care how much you praise. The only god that cares about your praise is Yogg. We'll get into that in a little bit. um, so great start for a fringe team. This is kind of like that 8 to 12 rankings in the power rankings. Maybe a little higher if you're in like a division like Orange where there's fucking 4 potential playoff teams over there. Um, so who do you think benefited the most in those fringe teams from a great week 1 start to season 4? Mange.
Yeah. So I went with the double. I
Mhm.
think that the Yard champs had an incredible start, obviously scoring, I think, almost 20 points, or 20 after the victory bonus,
Yep, the +3. Yep.
which they're really going to need because that red division is going to be pretty top heavy, I think. Like, I think Entry is going to have that one locked up, but then, like, them and NWA will be fighting for that, like, second seed. And then, transitioning to that, I think NWA also had a start to the season that they really needed as well. They took out the Harry Generals, which, we talked about on the preseason show last week that they had, or what I thought they had was a question mark at, the 1 seed and the 3 seed, and both of them won. Both of them won big. So it kind of just shows you, like, okay, this NWA team is going to be around. They are going to, be in this race. And yeah, it was great to see.
Yeah, the NWA Harry Generals match answered a lot of questions that I had. I put them in. I believe I had them in 10 or 9 in the preseason
Yeah.
rankings. But at
Yeah.
one point, I will not sit here and lie. I had them at around 12. And a lot of their questions, I don't want to say were answered because it's not a big enough data pool to do that from. But uh, definitely signs of brilliance that are good to see on their front. And Yalik Champs, they're kind of what we expected them to be, but definitely huge for them with that red division lineup the way you said. Pumbas, how about you? Who do you think got the best fringe, or the fringe team got the best start?
Well, I'm going with the damaged ones because I think the win. I mean, I don't want to toot our own horn, but I think Avatar is one of the better teams in green. And I think it's important that the orange teams all need to beat us for their sake because the orange division is going to be so tight with so many good teams all crammed together that it's really going to depend on who takes the most points from green and then their head-to-head matches. So I think the damaged ones coming out with a win and getting the win bonus, getting a total of 18 points, was really big for them, especially because I know we won't be playing like we did this week against the other orange teams. So hopefully we'll be able to play everybody else a little bit tighter.
I have to give you respect, man, for giving team credit over a victory against your own team there. Not easy to do, but to kind of give you guys a pat on the back over there at Avatar. Um, I think if you're an orange division looking at green division, shots fired here, green division, get ready, take cover. I think if you get through Avatar, you've got through the toughest challenge that green has. But do not sleep on Xergy or Danger Zone Orange Division. They have the potential, as we saw, to beat anybody at any given time, as they showed over the noobs. So definitely huge for the damaged ones, picking up as many points as they can in that green division, as they are. Um, they're kind of looking up at orange over there.
Yeah.
I threw out Defias over Xergy. Um, Now, these are both fringe teams. I wouldn't call either. If either team had won, I wouldn't call it necessarily a statement win. Uh, but I think for a brand new team like Defias, who did get a lot of question marks over their build of their team, which I still love it. It reminds me of season 1, I believe it was, Team Rank 5. To start
Yep.
off with a W for a new team with a questionable build, I think just motivation, momentum, and confidence wise, like that's exactly what they needed. I hope those guys are fired up. I'm still hyped on them too. Um, so not much more to say about that one. If Zero G had won, I would say the same thing for them. I think both these teams are kind of in the same position in their divisions. They've got a lot to prove with a lot of potential, but they'll find themselves more often than not the underdogs. So every W they can get will build to that momentum, which I am a huge believer that momentum does exist in competitive things. Um, and you need to keep it going. Keep that train rolling. Keep rolling downhill. So what did we learn, guys? What did we learn from week 1? Um, Here's a couple questions that I have, and I'm just gonna let you two go at it. And if I gotta chime in, I'll chime in. So what did we learn from Team Rank 5's 23-3 victory over Team 1200 PR? Did we learn that Team Rank 5 is that good, or is all that leftover PR really hurting 1600 Dust?
I don't think that we learned anything, to be honest. Like, we don't know anything about Team 1200 PR still. I think that we're going to be pretty good, but, like,
To
maybe
only score 3 points, though,
yeah, I mean,
like,
definitely a rough week. Like, don't get me wrong. But yeah, it's happened. Like, I think the Harry Generals also scored, like, 3 points in Season 1. Like, sometimes, it's Hearthstone, man. Sometimes it bends you over.
I don't know. I wrote in this doc that I think Team Rank 5 is like the Patriots of THL. They're always going to be relevant. They're always going to be one of those teams that you feel like if you beat, you've accomplished something in your season. I think what my idea is that instead of like awards for every member of a team, we just make THL a trophy and we call it the Mange. And we just give it out to the winner.
The Mange!
I'm about this.
It's like the Lombardi Trophy, but it's the Mange!
Yeah, the Mange Trophy, that's what we'll call it.
Oh, man.
We'll just ship it around to all the winners
Oh,
and let them
man.
all take pictures with it.
So good.
You guys can't see me blushing.
Mark Shire, comment of the year.
Up the page. Oh, fuck you!
Oh, man.
Oh, man.
All right. So, in the same, I think we this one warrants a lot more discussion. And you guys can read the documents there, so I won't oppose anything. I'll let you guys run with it. Entropy's 23-4 win over Netherstorm. What did we learn?
I learned that I was completely wrong about Netherstorm.
I learned that Brian can beat an opponent that's better than him. I wasn't sure, but he did it.
So,
That's the only thing I learned.
does this mean that Entropy's for real, or does this just mean that Netherstorm is going to make a trademark to get off to a slow start? For those of you who don't remember, they were either 0-2 or 0-3 at the beginning of last season.
Yeah, this to me is kind of like another one of those Team Rank 5 match things where when you have so many good players on a team, like Super Explosive Sheep, Cheesy, Gemini, they're all on Netherstorm. To not be able to win any of the matches and to only score 4 points between all of them is ridiculous. Even if Entropy has the best seeds between all 1 through 5, it's ridiculous to not see a single one of the matches go to Netherstorm.
Yeah, I mean,
It's just nuts.
yeah, I think entry's really good, and this just kind of solidifies it for me. I don't know. I mean, I think I know how Brian is with the lower seeds and how good of a coach he is, and they both walked away with sweeps, right? So
Yeah.
Quick clarification in chat. In honor of Brunson not being here right now, we're going to drink for Jesus C getting timed out.
I get fucked.
Oh, some shit Brunson will never be here.
What?
I go dumb.
Oh, this is the night he teaches. Yeah, we all know he's gonna get fired from
got it.
that job the second they drug test him. All right. So we kind of touched on this one, so I don't know if we really need to touch on it again. In the damaged ones over at Avatar. So I guess here's the one question I will ask. Does this win say more about the strength of the damaged ones, or that Avatar either slipped or is not the team we thought they were?
Oh man, Avatar's gonna hate me, and Jerry's gonna hate me. I think Avatar slipped a little bit. That's just my opinion. It's like GNets is great, but Timothy has to prove himself in the 2 seat, and it's hard to trust Brunson doing anything ever. I have a lot of faith in Zagro, and I've watched him play. He seems pretty good, but Lemur's Lemur. So, yeah, I think last season was kind of a magical run, and I'd be surprised if they're as good.
I think we'll make the playoffs still. And we'll have the same chance. I don't know. It's going to be a tough race between... It seems like it'll be a tough race between us and Danger Zone for, I'm guessing, what will be a bye week if it's structured the same. But if we get the bye week, I don't see why we couldn't do the same thing. But like I said, all the matches were really close. You can't have every match go 3-2 without the teams being really equal in skill, even if Yogs are ridiculous. But Bites is definitely... One thing I learned is that Bites is probably my new favorite opponent to play against. That was the most fun I've ever had. Yeah. Hands down.
Oh, baby.
Bites is a Discord favorite because he usually streams all his matches, and you never know what you're gonna see. So it's always like just hushed whispers, like, "Oh, Bites is streaming, guys, get in there."
Get in there. And real quick, because I just looked at the time, NWA and the Harry Generals play a close one. But here's the part that kind of I had question marks about. I want to know what we learned from it. Um, NWA wins against the 1 and 2 seed of the Harry Generals, Poker and Markshire. Poker, who I titled one of the best players in the league last week, and Markshire, who I've always spoken highly of. Did we learn anything by the victory in the 1 and 2 seed for NWA over the Harry Generals, or in the Harry Generals losing those spots?
I think we learned that NWA is probably going to be around. They're going to be in the picture.
Yeah, I was pretty high on them coming into the season too. I had them like towards the top of my power rankings for the community posts. But I think Tony is a much better player than people give him credit for, and I think he can be just as good as G-Nets in the 1 seed, who is very well respected in my opinion.
Yeah. I mean, he's definitely on his way to proving that. His record is incredible. So, and as far as the Generals, I think it just means that sometimes shit happens and you lose a couple of matches, but they lost both 1 seeds, I think 3-2, so it could have been flipped on its head.
Yep, absolutely. And Tony, I don't know if you heard that, but you were just compared to G-Nets, and anytime that happens, that's a compliment. So,
not anytime.
Compare
anybody to G-Nets in Overwatch, it's a nightmare.
Hey, his Lucio play is top notch. Just don't ask him to play anything else. Moving on down the line, guys. Is that time to hype up the power rankings? Oh, baby. Power rankings, power hour. Let's fucking do it.
I gotta go get another beer. Right now, my first one.
Well, you're gonna have to deal with it, man. You're gonna have to try to ration it properly here. We also don't have 10,000 hours to spend on power rankings like we normally do. I just linked it for those of you who have not seen it in chat. There's your link to the power rankings. And here's important thoughts, important facts, guys. I just want to clarify before we get into these power rankings. As there was many comments in the Facebook thread, your criticism and your disagreements are more than welcome. But I will go ahead and say that Mange and the guys at Team Rank 5's power rankings were not too far off from my own this week. I don't ever show them to anybody because I don't want to deal with the bitching. Mange is more of a man than I am and has no problem putting it out there. But I would like to say just one thing before we get into this, guys. Because you won or lost in week 1 and another team won or lost in week 1 does not change where you are overall in the league. It's not big enough sample size, and Hearthstone is too much of an RNG game for 1 week to prove anything. It could put thoughts in heads. You can move up a couple slots. You could drop a couple slots. Ole Miss was 0-2 and still in the top 25 in fucking college football. Go figure. Teams that were 3-0 at that point were still fucking below them. So just keep that in mind as we go through this. And fuck it, let's do it. Here's what I'd like to do. List off shit that doesn't surprise me, and then talk about shit that does surprise me. / if there's anything that shocked you guys, nothing should fucking shock you because you wrote this shit. But Pumbas, if you feel shocked, whatever. Team 1600 Dust, after getting stomped by Team Rank 5, comes in at 16. No shock there. Temporal Legends falls. Hector Howell proves that he is Hector Howell and can win games. But the rest of the team loses, putting them at 15. Zergy loses one to Defias Brotherhood. Question marks grow, 14. Team Golden Wisp in the 13th spot. Still has a lot of promise, a lot of potential.
I don't know about that one.
Okay, why not?
Like I said, I was pretty high on Team Golden Wisp. And I don't know where they were for Team Rank 5 before week 1. But, I mean, they still performed, I think, a lot better than Netherstorm. And Netherstorm is still above them. But I get that we don't want to like shake people by 8 ranks. But
Yeah.
if there was a week to do it, it would probably be week 1 when we had so little information, and then we see
I mean,
first results.
Golden Wisp still lost 4 of their 5 matches. Like, they didn't score 3, but they lost 4 of their 5 matches. So, I don't know. It's hard to justify moving them up after that.
Yeah.
But respectable disagreement there. The damaged ones beat Avatar and find themselves in the 12th seed. I'm just gonna sit back and see what either of you say about that.
So, my question is, how are you guys judging power rankings in general? Is it like the overall power of the team, or do you try to put the top 8 or the top 2 seeds of each division?
No. It's just if there is a big round robin tournament and everyone played everyone, that's how we think that it would come out like this week, based on just the information that we have, the data that we have.
Yeah, that's what I would think. But I think that is a lot different for people, especially people used to like college football, where the power rankings basically decide who's going to the playoffs, and the actual power and like it goes through scheduling and who's got the toughest opponents and who's beaten the toughest opponents.
I mean, we would also do like that. We'd also keep that in mind as far as like strength.
Okay.
Yeah, like no offense over there at Avatar, but if you guys won out every single match the rest of your season, and somebody in say like Orange went 5-2, they might be considered better than you. Suck it up and deal with it.
I don't know. It'd be interesting.
I'm just saying it could happen.
Well, if that happened, we would have beaten both of those teams. I feel like if you're neck and neck with a team and you beat the other team, then that should automatically swap a spot.
Here's where I'll disagree with you. It's possible to win or lose in this league by 1 point. I think it's either 13-14 or 12-13 or something like that. You could lose in this league by 1 point, which I don't think is big enough to make any decisions. It actually is in Hearthstone as a general. I need to see a full match's worth of difference. So there needs to be at least a 4-point difference, in my opinion, for me to really weigh anything heavily in a head-to-head matchup. Just because Hearthstone is that big of an RNG game, if you have a whole bunch of 3-2 victories, that's great. Somewhere along the lines, I promise you, luck won you that.
Not that I. Go ahead. Sorry.
No. Go ahead. No, I was done. I was ranting.
Just to add on to that, I think at one point last season we were ranked behind Supreme and the Harry Generals after beating both of them and being very near them in points and records. So I don't know. Sometimes it just works out that way.
RNG says Slimsh. What face? Moving on down the list. Now that we let that marinate for a little bit. Fuck, my document just took over my entire screen. I don't like it. There we go. Netherstorm takes a rough loss, falls. I expect to see them climb. Noob Central takes a fall. Personally, I understand this one. I don't agree with it. But I am a much more subjective person, and
This is too low?
I think this is too low. I think they are a better team than at least 2 of the people listed above them, questionably a 3rd. But it is what it is, and I really can't objectively prove my case. It's just a feeling I have that I feel they're better than. I'll just go ahead and say it. I feel they're better than the not damage ones, Danger Zone, Team Avatar, and the Defiance Brotherhood. I think they're better than all 3 of those teams.
They did cut. So.
But objectively, I understand. I understand this. I understand why. So it's not really that big of a shock. Danger Zone at 9. I don't know, man. I do question this one. Why Danger Zone here at Defiance Brotherhood above them? I think the strength of opponents would suggest differently, but get me into your head here, and not just yours, but the guys at Team Rank 5. Why Danger Zone here?
Just here or compared to Defiance?
It's specifically compared to Defiance.
Yeah, I think that I trust Defiance just to be stronger overall. I think that they're stronger throughout the middle and bottom of their roster. And I think you think the Danger Zone does have the advantage at the 1 seed because I think Yala's now 0-2 after this week, but like she's still pretty talented. But I don't know. It's just that's just kind of how we did it. Like we see, excuse me, Defias is just a little bit stronger
Okay.
at the moment anyway.
That's fair. It's fair.
She might not even be the 1 seed next week.
Oh,
If Indy wins, then they switch.
That's definitely possible that they switch out.
All right, so next up on the list, and here's where we can start to like really delve in here and digest anything we need to digest. But I know one of the spots that people expected there to be a lot of issues with, and surprisingly, the most calm head about it came from the captain himself. NWA at number 6 after a big win over a very well-respected team that is one step above them at number 5, the Harry Generals. I'm just gonna let you speak, and then Pumbas, you can weigh in. Mate, yeah, there we go.
Sorry, I was looking at my. Wait, what were you saying? I'm sorry.
So I'm talking about NWA, who beat the Harry Generals.
Yeah. That's right, NWA. Yeah, they jumped up because like that was a huge opponent, and the way that they won, and especially in like the 1 and the 3 seed, we just took notice and like okay, like we see you NWA, and I think that they were our biggest jumpers by far. So yeah, I don't know. We were very impressed by the win, and we're really interested to see how they are in the next couple of weeks to see if they can build on that.
Yeah. I definitely think they should have jumped for you guys. For me personally, preseason, I had them above Yacht Champs and Harry Generals. So I think for me, in my mind, they'd be either the 4 or the 5, depending on what other things look like. But in my experience, like for power rankings, if you win your game, you should never fall, regardless. If it's 14-13, someone else wins 20-0, it doesn't matter. If you win your match, you shouldn't fall. And so I think for me, NWA wouldn't have moved because every team above them would have also won. But I think they're a really good team.
So Harry Generals lose. They did fall, correct? Yep, they did fall. It was a close loss against a well-respected team, so the fall was not that significant. The Yog Champs sneaked their way up in there. They know what top 4 feels like. I don't know, man. I do believe I personally had them ranked higher than anybody else in the preseason rankings. I could be pulling that out of my ass, but I was hyped on them last season. I'm hyped on them again this season. I like where you have them. I expect great things from them. Good times. Aeon, up at number 3. I have a lot of question marks even still about Aeon. I love the work that Petrucci did in the offseason. Aeon did not have the best showing that they could, not really, they didn't really meet expectations is what his teachers like to say, last season. And they're looking pretty good this season, but sorry, Hector, I'm not trying to take shots at you tonight, but I'm not expecting a whole lot out of Temporal Legends this season. So, big win over a team that, I don't know, man. Why them over Yacht Champs?
Well, they both played fairly weak opponents, and I don't know. We just have the bottom. Like we both think that Aeon, we think that Aeon and Yard Champs are really strong 1, 2, 3. But we rate the bottom of Aeon's roster a little bit stronger than the bottom of the Yard Champs roster. So when we made the preseason power rankings, Aeon like averaged out to be a little bit higher for this reason. And after they both have wins, like I don't know, it's hard to flip flop them too much. I still think even with the sub, Aeon had a win. Hector Howe is a pretty good 1 seed, so it's not Gallon losing to him isn't a big deal. But it was really nice to see Raging Rhino in the 4 seed pick up that 3-1 because that's like one of the guys that you're unsure about as far as the team goes. And he picked up a pretty quality win there. So I don't know, the difference between 3 and 4. I mean, it's slim, right? It's just like a 1 spot. So
I always like nitpicking it, such as I totally nitpicked. I'm not gonna lie, my personal rankings, I have Entropy above Team Rank 5.
yeah, that's fair.
I totally agree with Pumbas that I mean, I totally agree with Pumbas that it feels bad to drop a team when they win, especially when they win 20-3 or 20, whatever the fuck the final score was. A lot of goddamn points to 3. Um, but I just think that with the potential and the hype surrounding Netherstorm,
Yeah.
I feel like it was a bigger win for Entropy over an opponent like Netherstorm than the win was for Team Rank 5 over a team like 1600 Dust.
Yeah, I mean that's totally fair.
But I definitely think that you are not wrong in any way, shape, and form. I had Team Rank 5 above Entropy preseason. Um, I definitely think that Team Rank 5 is probably the scariest looking team out there right now. But fuck it, man. I love the Entropy boys. Joe's doing great work over there, and I may never come back to the team. I might just sit here. I might sit here and fucking Jerry Jones this shit. No, wait, they don't win over there. I might craft this shit.
Podcast.
Yeah, I might just craft this shit.
If you put Team Ring 5 against Entropy head to head today,
Yep.
then I think Team Ring 5 would win at 1, 3, and 4, and they'd win the match. So I think it should be in my mind. I think it's 1-2 that way.
So I'm just gonna say something while you're talking, and I'll let you continue talking. Slimsh will hopefully answer this in chat. Slimsh, what's your Wicked Wednesday record against Imbolc? All right. So.
Oh boy.
No, his playoff record against Embulk is.
Actually, that's fun. I'm kind of looking at this right now, and I'm going 5 seed, surefire win for us. 4 seed would be
damn.
a fucking brawl. I would love to watch the 4 seed battle happen. Holy fuck.
No, sleep on Rogue if you want.
I will. I'll sleep on him all day.
Well, I think before the stream, I may have agreed, and I probably would have had Rogue as a toss-up, but he lost on our SHL team, so I lost a little faith in Rogue.
Yeah.
Feels bad.
You know what the problem is? Here's what the problem is, Pumbas, and here's where most people would agree with you. If you looked at Smoked Salmon, you looked at D Lyman, you go, hands down, they get fucking rolled by Parker and Lux. Problem is they are 2 of the most deceptive PR people in this fucking league.
I said Smoke Salmon was gonna win.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, I said 3 and 4.
See, I think that's where you
1,
might
3,
have fucked
4.
up. I love Salmon. I love him to death, but I think he loses that one 3-1 or 3-2. Sorry, Salmon. You're fucking a stud. Love you. But I don't think, as Mugatu would say, MV Parker, so hot right now.
This is MV Parker just lost because he's a shitter. Like an hour. Anyway, this is a long time to talk about a match that probably isn't gonna happen.
Sorry.
No,
Let's
no.
move forward. I
It could
get
happen.
stuck. Listen, this is what power rankings do. They make people think about shit and fucking talk about it. Let's move forward. You're right, though. We need to move ahead because we have week 2 coming up. And by the way, while week 2's up, I forgot to throw this up when week 1 was done. In the bottom right, you will see the picked bands graphic, courtesy of our boy Fezama. Absolute stud. Thank you for putting this together. Normally, it would take some time to talk about it, but all you need to know is that Brunson is the only person on the face of the earth that plays Rogue. Only a couple people play Priest, and no fucking people still love to play Warrior and Shaman. So there's that thought process. Moving on. I'll keep that graphic up, though, because I know a lot of people... Slim shall probably give you a dissertation in the fucking chat right now over what all that means. All right. So match we are most hyped to see this week, and our pick for who we think is going to win it. If you have a seed within it that you want to highlight, fucking go for it. I'm giving you your soapbox to tell us, Mange, why you are hyped for what match.
I'm hyped for the Yogg Champs versus the General. 2 teams that we have, I think, 4 and 5 on that power rankings.
Mm-hmm.
Really strong tops of the roster. Upside in the bottom. It's going to be a really good match. I'm not really looking forward to anyone in particular, just the whole thing.
Yeah, I think this might be one of the marquee matchups, if not the marquee matchup of.
Dunamis versus Markshire is really exciting. I want to see that.
That'd be cool.
And who do you think walks away with the W?
Oh man.
I know that's a shitty question to ask, but I'm making you do it.
You just put me on the spot. Oh. Harry Generals aren't going to lose 2 in a row, so let's go with them.
All right.
The worst logic ever.
Listen, I made you pick it. Pumbas, who are you hyped for? Why and who wins it?
All right. Well, I'm pretty hyped for this NWA versus Netherstorm. I'm not completely off the Netherstorm hype train. I still think they're going to be one of the better teams, but I think this will be a huge, huge win for whoever wins it. And I think I don't know that it's must-win territory for Netherstorm, but they have to start getting points. So if this ends up being like another week 1, then they're going to be so far behind in only a 7-week season that it's going to be really hard for them to make a run for the playoffs. So I don't know. It'll be interesting to see.
So who do you pick as the winner? You can't fucking walk the fence there.
I think Netherstorm will win because I think they'll win 1-3-5, and I think they'll lose 2-4. Swanky Tiger is somebody I'm not really sold on. I know he was on SPL, or he was on Boom Squad, and then an SPL team or something. He's been playing, but he lost week 1. I've never really seen him, so I'm just kind of going off PR and what I know. And then Crovan, he's good, but I think for the team he's probably the weak spot, the chink in the armor. So yeah, I think Netherstorm could still win 1-3-5. I hope some of that gets streamed.
I do have the streaming thing. I don't know if any of those dudes are on the stream list. No, it doesn't look like it.
No.
So, but you know what? There's always opportunities for people to get picked up. I just saw in chat, Mark Shire says they're playing Saturday afternoon. So, if anybody wants to pick that up to stream, there's always the. I know that's not in the matchup you were just saying, but I'm just pointing out that folks get picked up. So,
yeah.
Puma's just volunteered as well, Mark Shire, so you could get with him on that. And I don't think you're wrong, by the way, for not jumping off the Netherstorm hype train. I am still, even watching that first hand go down last week, I am still comfortably seated in my seat on the Netherstorm hype train. I do think they're going to turn it around some point this season. I don't know if it's going to be this week, but they'll definitely get together. All right, so I went a different path with this. I'm actually hyped for Temporal Legends versus Team Golden Wisp. Both teams are in dire need of some momentum, and for both teams, this is one of the few teams that they have a potential to get a lot of points off of. And for Team Golden Wisp, they started it off fantastically already, beating Hector Howell in that 1 seed 3-1, unless that is a SPL result that got thrown onto THL. So somebody correct me if that's the case, but I don't believe Double O's is playing SPL, or that Hector Howell is playing SPL. So
I'm not sure, because Jesus has an errant result up there as well, so I'm not sure what's going on.
So depending on what's going on there, guys, it's possible that Double O's has already beaten Hector Howell. If anybody from Team Golden Wisp or Temporal Legends is in chat and could confirm that, I would appreciate it. Let me know. And if that is the case, that just makes this matchup all the more interesting. And Team Golden Wisp, I'm not going to lie, I'm on that train. Let's go. I think you're going to pull this W out, especially if that statement's true. Individual match we are almost hyped for. Mange, I love yours. Tell us about it.
Yeah. So my individual match, holy shit, is D Lyman and Dot Dark.
Wow.
Both guys that have finished multiple times in the top 100, both 3 seeds, which is ridiculous. And D Lyman is someone I like watching play whenever he's on stream. So I hope that is streamed somewhere because I really want to see it.
I think the hardest part about that is getting in touch with Devon to make sure that he could get streamed. But if we can, we will. And just a quick shout out, thank you, Nate. That stat about Hector Howell is confirmed. So congrats, Double O's, on giving Hector Howell his first THL loss.
Hey.
So, yeah, dude, that's going to be fucking... I'm hyped about that one, too. And I totally agree that the fact that they're both 3 seeds is stupid. It's just fucking stupid.
Power creep in this league is unreal.
So Pumbas.
All right.
Who you got?
I got. Well, it looks like I just looked at the week and it looks like my match was already played. But I had MV Parker and Zab. Zab is somebody that I wasn't in the league last season, so I was really interested. I know he's an SPL, so I was pretty interested to see how he does, and it looks like he's 2-0 now,
Yeah.
which kind of feels bad for Parker, but it was a 3-2, so it probably was a good match, so worth hyping up.
Mhm.
And just a quick thing, Slim, she ended somewhere in the 70s or 80s. I forgot where that was, but it did happen. It was a big to-do, apparently. I don't fucking know.
I'm just going by whatever he said.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's told me that he finished top 100 before or something.
Yeah, it's definitely happened. That one is confirmed, not confirmed. My match is that I am fucking hyped for is the 9-year-old or the 12-year-old. Always get fucking confused. Versus my Legion grinding partner, Aroy. Um, this is one of those 4 seed matchups. Like, a lot of times you get super lopsided bullshit in the 4 seed. And this is one of those 4 seed matchups to get really hyped for us. Two pretty damn good players are going to face off. They're both probably going to play a meme of some sort and try to convince you that they're actually playing a good deck. But it's great. It's good television. It's good stuff for everyone involved. And Lemur, if you don't stream it, you're a fucking cuck. I think
That's
next
probably
week.
gonna be lopsided though.
I think next week, cuck needs to be a fucking drinking rule. Um, it's way too often. All right, predicting your unexpected win of the week. Oh, Mange, take me there. Take me
This
to
is
church.
bullshit, by the way. I'm upset that this is a category.
Uh,
If we could fucking pick it out, it wouldn't be unexpected. God damn it.
No, that's the thing about this is it forces you to straight up call bullshit. I am forcing you to live in a world where bullshit exists.
I'm just throwing shit against the wall here. So my shit is Jedi Ninja over Adidas. Numbers. I'm not sure what numbers he is. But
It's pretty much 350-ish against 500-ish.
yeah, it's something. I know Jedi is like over a 100-point underdog by PR, but I have a lot of respect for Jedi as a player, as I said earlier on the show. And sometimes those guys over in Arizona, they like their wacky decks and their wacky shit. So if Adidas has some wacky shit on tap, Jedi's gonna whoop his ass.
Love it. Pumbas. I like
Uh,
yours too. This would be totally fucking unexpected.
Oh man, I've got all the faith in the world for Brunson. Brunson might just get MVP this season. I don't know. He probably takes the game more seriously than the rest of the team. So, but I picked Brunson over Comp. I think Brunson will win. So,
Yeah.
Nobody prepped with Brunson. He submitted his own classes. He's doing his own thing. But I believe. That's all it took week 1. I just had to believe in him.
Believe. All you have to do is believe. So I went the easiest route out there. It picked an unexpected win that will probably actually be the way the fucking story goes. No, I'm just kidding. So I threw Chigmo over Humpner. Hunter's had a few seasons in the league. Has had mixed results success-wise.
Yeah.
But I think with the potential that Golden Wisp has this season, the fact that those guys have stuck through it kind of thick and thin, that they're really making a push and kind of taking it serious. And Chigmo, if you look at it on paper, is about a 35-point underdog. But I think that he pulls out a W this week for Temporal Legends and maybe makes up for his captain's downfall. And I love that I forced Mange to fucking say Jedi over Adidas. That just makes me super happy. All right, so kind of a new thing we're gonna do here. This is completely op-ed. It'll be a quick little thing, but the forums have been kind of hot lately. There's been some ranting and some raving. There's been some strongly opinionated things, and I figure, fuck it. Let's talk about some shit on Tavern Talk that might piss people off. / give them insight is my true hope here. So here's my hot topic of the week: scheduling difficulties in your matches. And I'm gonna call this what are the rules versus what is good sportsmanship? Because we had a couple instances, we won't name names, and guys, fucking, let's not make it about the people that they were, but more about the incidences that happened. I'm gonna start off with this one first. Calling for a DQ when you made no good faith effort to reschedule your match. Now, what this means is that me and my opponent have scheduled for 1 o'clock on Saturday. My opponent does not show up till 1:45. I am now in a game of Overwatch. By the rules, I was there for the amount of time I needed to be there / wait for my opponent. And they go, hey, when do you want to reschedule the match? And my response is, I'm busy all week while I'm playing Overwatch. What are your thoughts on this? What would you do? What could be done to make this a better situation? And go.
Well, first of all, stop emailing your opponents on fucking Thursday. Okay, email them early in the week. Get your time, out as early as you can, as early as you both can. That way, if this shit does happen, there is more time for you to reschedule it. But at the end of the day, man, this league is all for fun. So if you're like out here trying to dodge a game, like just trying to collect a DQ, like why are you in this league? To get what? So be a good sport. Reschedule matches if you can. Get it done, man.
Get it done.
Yeah, there's a difference between like, oh, I'm going out of town at this time. This is like the last possible time I could play. I'm actually busy like the rest of the time. But if like you're around, there's literally no reason to reschedule it the night of. If you have to stay up an hour late, who cares?
Yeah.
And especially like if you're gonna be sitting around and they can actually be able to talk to your opponent afterwards, like you're there, just play the match.
Yeah.
It's not that.
I've seen that. Like I've seen people like supposed to play a match and like someone couldn't make it, and then all weekend they're on Overwatch. It's like, well, why aren't you playing your match?
Yeah.
Just get it done, man.
Get it fucking done. Yeah, so I think the important thing to remember here, and Pumas, you just kind of hit the nail right on the head, is that there's a difference between, like, I've had it in the past, weddings where I've had to leave for the weekend, but I want to play my match. I have time. I don't want to have a sub. So, all right, man, let's play Friday night. I leave Saturday morning. All right, cool, no problem. Let's play Friday night. Fuck, man, my boss asked me to stay late at work. I can't fucking make it tonight. Legit real life shit, right? Now, there's a difference between me going, well, fuck, man, really sorry, but actually, I'm not even gonna lie. If somebody told me their boss fucking asked them to stay late, I would request a no contest because I'm not a fucking dickhead. But if I gotta stay up an extra couple hours till you get home, or if maybe we gotta push it late on Sunday when I return, cool. But my point being is there's a difference between me having to go out of town for a wedding and that being why the match doesn't get played and me asking for a DQ versus I want to play WoW all weekend and aimlessly grind when I could switch over for half an hour to 60 minutes to fucking kick your ass real quick and move the fuck on. If you're that scared of losing, then you look at this league the wrong way because losing should be an opportunity to fucking improve. And to hit on Mange's point real fast of the waiting till the end of the week, people kind of gave Slimsh fucking shit the other night in Discord. I won't lie, I was on the ball busting train because Monday, probably while he's sitting at his desk at work, without fail, if you are playing Slimsh, you will get an email from him on Monday. Without fail.
Every time.
Now, what does this do? This means that if you know you're fucked for most of the weekend, Slimsh could play you on Tuesday night. Right? So fucking contact your opponents early, and then if shit does come up, you have 5 or 6 days to work with rather than, hey, we've got 20 hours to get this shit figured out. Additional points either of you want to add to the hot topic of this week?
Yeah, while we're talking about this, don't agree to a time just to agree to a time. Like, I know I'll send out my emails on Monday, and even if my opponent gets back to me Tuesday and they're like, it's not going to work those times, like, I'll send out the 3 times that will work for me, or that are the best times. They'll be like, none of those work, and then they'll suggest something, and I'll just say yes so we can get it scheduled. I check with my wife, make sure we're not doing anything, and I look through work schedule to make sure I'm not going to be busy. And then I check my calendar to make sure nothing else is going on. And if anything else is going on that's not that important, I'll just cancel it. I don't mind not hanging out with friends at night to get the match played. But don't agree to a time when you don't know if you can make it or not. That's ridiculous.
Go through your list of fucking shit, because that happens too, guys. Let's play Tuesday at 2. I don't know why I said Tuesday. Nobody fucking plays Tuesday at 2. If you do, get a fucking job. Unless you work at nights. Then, you know what? You play at 2. But that's happened. And then that day rolls around, they're like, oh shit, man, totally forgot I'm going to a concert. How the fuck do you forget you're going to a concert? Fuck off. Alright. Also, fuck off. So, another issue, it's not really so much an issue as a great talking point. Pumbas, you put out a blog weeks ago that just got posted yesterday or today on the THL blog about the 5 seed streaming experience, and you gave some great insight for casters, captains, teammates, and the viewers in general for improving the overall experience. So can you give everybody the TLDR on your blog so that we could talk about it?
Sure. When I wrote it, it was around the time that like Frodan kind of started writing similar blog posts about like the Blizzard professional streaming experience and how we can improve it. And I thought it'd be good to just kind of go over that with THL because, you know, we have Salty Saturday, which is kind of a very professional thing. Like Slimsh gets on there and he does this thing every week and he always brings a guest. And they do a really good job. And the blog wasn't really about Salty Saturday because I think it's kind of perfect how it is. But for these kind of fringe matches that get picked up and we have kind of random casters that just kind of want to like practice or get better at it, it was kind of just points to help them out and then also help the community be a little bit more supportive. Because I know especially for last season, there's a lot of negativity that runs around the chat and a lot of it is just trolling and you could ignore it. But when you watch the matches and you're trying to like go back and look at plays, the first thing you do is obviously you listen to your caster, and if they say something's wrong, then you immediately want to say, well, what was right? And if they don't present that to you, then what good is it? And then the second thing is you want to look at chat because if the caster doesn't tell you, then hopefully someone like Mange or like I said in the blog post like Mange or Cheesy, they're usually there. But if they're not, you want to see someone give the right play so at least you can know because otherwise you're learning absolutely nothing and people are just telling you that you're just playing awful. So I hope it helped and I hope especially for 5 seeds because they're coming in and most of the time their top finishes are like 15 or less. You want to be able to learn from every time you get on stream and kudos to the 5 seeds that do volunteer to get on stream because I know it's a little bit of a pressure and it doesn't help when people are just telling you how awful you're playing without giving any kind of constructive feedback.
Mange, did you get a chance to read the blog?
Yes, I did. I thought. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, I thought it was a really good article, and I know reading that I felt some guilt because I could be, you know, one of the members that is like, oh, what the fuck was that? If there's a bad play. Although I do try to like, you know, point out maybe what I'd done differently, whatever. And I think I think it is a good point to try to be constructive or maybe more kind with your criticisms, especially in chat when you know sometimes just some savage shit is said. But I also think it's important for casters to not like sugarcoat. Like it's great if they can point out like maybe what they were thinking, but it's also like if the caster thinks that was an incorrect play, you should point out that it was an incorrect play. And then, you know, give that example for why it was incorrect. So, yeah, no, I think I mostly agree with the premise of the article. And I know I'm going to try to keep that in mind, like this Salty Saturday when the stream's going on and not just be like complete asshole. But, no, overall I like it. I thought it was a good message. And I know our 5 seed, well, I'll just give it away, but our 5 seed may or may not be playing on Saturday. And he goes back and watches the VOD. I hope that he sees some encouragement.
All I have to say is, I'm not trying to be mean, but Helen Keller could have made a better play.
Oh my god.
Wow.
For those of you who have ever experienced the Team Rank Friday, that might be the best casting line that's ever fucking come out of somebody's mouth.
That was drunk Cassidy too.
That was
drunk.
that was fantastic. So here's why I say that was fantastic. So as quick as I can, as a 5 seed in this league, I used to love getting streamed, especially during the Hertz Veer Day. And I always forget the third person. He always yells at me in chat, so I'm gonna fucking forget him again. There was a third caster, and they were our Alpha Beta Kappa casters for Salty Saturday. And the reason I used to kick and scream about getting streamed was I loved the feedback I got from them and the opportunities to improve. And Verde did it in a super awesome way. That's just that play's just wrong. What should have been done is, and initially you might think, well, he's being a dick, but he's calling it how it fucking is. And there's nothing wrong with calling it how it is as long as the constructiveness comes afterwards. I do have to say that I think our casters in THL are fantastic for the fact that some of them come on as their first time ever. And they're trying to create a personality as well as correctly analyze the game. Some dudes fall flat in their face. Others do it better than You take somebody like Slim, who was a Tavern Talk host for a long time, and you put him in a role like Salty Saturday. It's supernatural. You take somebody like Lemur, his first couple times doing it, it was rough. He's definitely gotten better since his first few streams. So here's my advice to 5 seeds getting streamed: know who's streaming you, and take that into account. If D Lyman is on the cast for streaming you, you are going to get torn apart. If Brunson is on the cast, you are going to get torn apart.
If you don't want to listen to Brunson anyway.
If MV Parker is on the cast, he's going to tear you apart, but he's not going to do it in such a way that's wrong. Like, there is I believe, Mage, it was you that said they need to point out the misplays.
Yeah.
It needs to be done, and sometimes it does need to be done in a level that shows you, holy fuck, that was the worst thing you could have done right here. But casters, just be mindful that there is a human being controlling that mouse, and they are nervously probably clicking all around the screen while they're playing because they're worried about what you're saying, and they will go back and listen to your feedback. So make sure that you follow up that was just fucking wrong with but here's what he could do better.
Right.
Hey guys, grow a fucking pair. We're ball busters in this league. So there's 2 pieces to that. Don't be too sensitive. Casters don't be too big of dicks. Remember, especially for the low seeds, we're trying to get better. Especially when you get all the way to a 6 seed like me. Fucking just be mindful of that.
And just to add to that real quick, you mentioned D Lyman. Now he's ripped people apart and stuff. And there was one stream where he was just crushing Donnie Wrench. Because Donnie Wrench was making some misplays. And afterwards, Donnie Wrench, like a man, came into the Discord and was like, hey, can you help point out some of these mistakes? And D Lyman was like, hell yeah. And they literally, for like an hour and a half, went over the VOD and was just talking about the game.
Yep.
And I thought that was super cool. And so I think that, if you as a player on stream have some questions, you should ask. Post it in Facebook. Talk to your team.
I think, yes, and last clarifying point before the horse is beyond dead and back to life again. Typically, there are some streams. I'm not trying to shit on Team Rank Friday, because this is exactly what Team Rank Friday was built for, was to have an environment where it was super less casual, and low seeds could play and get shit on / improve. But typically, we don't put people on the casting that aren't good dudes. So even, I know 90% of you won't believe me when I say this, unless you are Hector or Salt, Brunson is not an asshole. He is, but he isn't. He has his list of people that for whatever fucking reason in Brunson's world he hates. But believe it or not, a lot of it's a persona. So feel free to jump into Discord, guys, and actually talk to these people. So you can find out who they really are and not just, the butthurt feelings you have or the casting job. A lot of them do play characters or roles. Ric Flair had to exist in order for WCW to explode. All right? You got to have a heel. So moving on. Some PSAs. Holy fucking ballsack. THL in 60 seconds is back. I am so fucking happy. Pumbas, I'm not sure if you knew this, but you did a great job on THL in 60 seconds this week.
Oh, no. I was so excited. I got to be a guest on 2 shows.
It was fucking hyped as fuck. Guys, THL in 60 seconds is the first and only unofficial THL recap minute. They was so hyped this week. I believe they gave you about a minute and 15 seconds. If you have not yet listened to it, give it a fucking listen. And if you are somebody who's butthurt easily, remember who is doing it. Fucking laugh about it. If you can't laugh at yourself, work on that because you need to be able to laugh at yourself. Guys, really happy to have you back. Please don't go on the hiatus like you did last year. Or last season. I always say year when I'm talking about our seasons. Salty Saturday lineup. Hyped as fuck. Kicking it off, it says 7:50 here, but that's casting time. It'll be 8 o'clock on the stream. We have the Giant Slayer? Question mark. Once upon a time, he used to be. Alec GW Podcast, a.k.a. What's he go by now? He has a different name.
No, it's that now.
It's Alec GW Podcast. It used to be like Shrew something.
He used to be To The Detail, but he changed.
All right. Versus Loch Ness H. They're kicking it off, followed up by a hype as fuck match as Poker versus the real Doctor Who. Hopefully fences get mended and all is well, as our nightcap will be Daydream versus Rogue. Big debut for the Team Rank 5 seed on Salty Saturday. And Mange, did I hear you correctly that you and Slimsh are both casting that this Saturday?
No, I'm not casting. I know Slim.
All right, you'll just be shitting on people in chat.
Yeah, I'll be in chat making fun of him.
Awesome. And then for those of you who have not yet heard, yet another awesome THL member is stepping up to help grow our community with a giveaway. Aroy is a huge fan of the game Legion, as many of us are. WoW Legion is offering a giveaway prize. The details were posted in the THL social forum. A $20 BattleNet card, so that's good for any BattleNet game. To anybody who comes onto Storm Reaver as Horde, it puts a character into the THL guild over there. We're trying to get up for rating. If you've never experienced WoW, now is a great time to do it. I would not have recommended this for Warlords or Mist. Legion's a great time. We're having a lot of fun over there. You can see in Discord, a WoW general chat is always popping, usually later in the evening. So come win yourself a $20 gift card. Join the guild raid. It'll be fun. Details on THL social forum. All right, real quick, because I made this show entirely too long because I was hyped as fuck. Before we get into, it's not fun, but that's okay. Parker, it's not for everybody, man. Guys, I need you to get your finger snapping ready. Go get yourself a mocha latte, because we got to take it to the poetry corner for a second. So we can each read our.
That's so good.
We can each read our own, and then we'll read aloud. I put some bonus ones in here, only a couple, because there's a lot of great ones, guys. If you have not fucking read the haiku thread, the original question. Actually, hold on. Let me bring this up. I closed Facebook by accident. The original thread went something like this. It was on the Tavern Talk Q&A. It was posed by the manlet himself, Slimsh, and it said something about, I can't fucking find the thread now. Oh, there it is. It said something to the effect of, could you each prepare a haiku representing your feelings when an opponent plays Yogg-Saron, hopes end against you? A couple people didn't read all of the instructions. They just heard haiku and Yogg, and they wrote pro-Yogg haikus. But we'll forgive them. We'll let it happen. So I will lead off because I know that when it comes to putting your artwork out there, you feel vulnerable, and yeah, I'll just. All right, here we go. Here's my haiku. I praise, reluctant, not knowing where spells will hit. Pyro my face, quit.
Oh man, that's really good. That's really good.
Thank you.
Oh, you got your own picture.
Whoa, wait. You have yours too. Pumbas, you are up.
Do I have to read it in a super serious voice?
No, you can read it however you want, or if you're uncomfortable, I can read it for you.
No.
Fuck
I
that.
believe in reading.
Super voice. Let's go. Super serious.
Yogg winning matches makes me think we should ban cards. Zulidin is Bay.
Zulidin. Giving you finger snaps over here. I don't know if it's coming through the mic.
Yeah, I can hear.
All right, Mange. Share your beauty with us.
Okay. Yogg Saron, Hope's End. Body's ready. Here I bend. Fuck this fucking game.
It's so good. It's so good.
Oh, man.
Oh man, it's so good. I love it. I love it. So here's the thing: is I've had this one. Are all Manges and fucking Pumbas. I've had them for like half an hour, and they're still even better hearing them read it. It's so good. Okay. So here's some bonus ones, guys. This one comes from Slimsh. Down dog, says Mr. Yogg. But which he acknowledged, by the way, that Mr. is too many syllables. So let me restart here. But we're going to forgive him because he's a beautiful manlet. Bow down, says Mr. Yogg. I assume the child's pose. Can't walk the next day. So Slim says that it's not supposed to be Mr. It's supposed to be the. So bow down, says the Yogg. Got you. I got you, buddy. You're good. Parker, listen, Brunson's was great, but I couldn't do it before now because you have to save the best for last. Oh my fucking god. Not this fucking bullshit card. Fuck this game. Fuck you.
Oh, man.
Tear to my eye.
So beautiful, Brunson. I wish you were here. That's gorgeous. Ladies and gentlemen, I would like to thank all of you for coming to the Third Graders Present the Poetry Cafe. So I think poetry might have to make a return at some point in time. That was fantastic. Just good times all around. So let's I forgot to put this in the corner for you guys. In case you did not see the week 2 matchups, there's a nice little graphic in the empty slot in the bottom right. All right, fuck it. Q&A real quick because we went way too long with the show. Sorry, guys, but I was having a good time. I was hyped as fuck for this. Sorry, Pumbas, but you're left out of this one. This one comes from Smoke Salmon, and he wants to know from Mange and myself, as a captain / former captain, what are your thoughts when one of your players wants to play meme decks? Also, what would it take to get Team Rank 5 to play meme decks?
None of my players are cucks. None of them would ever want to play meme. We try to win. So, you know.
I'm going to be honest with you. There has been memes in the past for Entropy. In one of 2 situations, we have already firmly secured the number 1 spot in the playoffs, or no matter how many games we win, we are systematically eliminated from the playoffs, and those memes have an opportunity to win. I have actually told people I am recruiting and refused people I'm recruiting due to the fact that during match play, with an opportunity to win or score points for your team, if you play a meme, I will kick you off my fucking team. Yes, I'm an asshole like that. No, it's not because I don't want you to have fun. But I know personally when I prepare really hard and somebody just brings a fucking meme line up against me and isn't trying to win, I kind of feel like you're wasting my time, and I won't do that to other people. We already went through the haikus from Mr. Slimsh. Slimsh, thank you for that. Greatly appreciated. By the way, Lemur, learn how to count. Stop doing that Indiana bullshit math. All right. So this question actually came from me, and it was based on all the Zulidin hate that we got within the first 10 seconds of the Tavern Talk Q&A being posted with your name being attached to it, Pumbas. So I already kind of know your answer, Pumbas, but feel free to jump in here. Do you support home brewing if a player truly believes that they have an opportunity to win with it?
My answer would be no. Nobody on my SHL team should be bringing homebrew decks that have either not been tested enough, because there's a difference, right? So I brought Zulidin specifically because last season in the finals, Lemur and G-Nets both promised me that I would get a fun week 1 where I could play whatever I wanted if I won my match in the finals last season. So I came through on that, and I got to keep the promise, which was awesome. It was the best match I've ever played. But normally, no, there's really no reason to bring homebrew decks unless you've tested it at least like I don't even know how many games it would take. Probably like 50 games against a specific archetype you absolutely knew you'd be playing, and you had a good win rate.
Yeah, so we would support home brewing, but like Timothy says, if someone on our team wants to homebrew or they have a tech they really want to try out or just something unusual, we test the shit out of it. And if it doesn't win, then they don't play it. And no one on the team really has a problem with that. We haven't had that happen too many times. It's mostly just Parker with shitty ideas, and then we play, and he's like, okay, maybe that's not a great idea. But, yeah, we test it out. Like anything, you can test it out, and if it works, you go for it.
So I have mixed emotions about this one, because I think that confidence that player has in their equipment. If somebody thinks a mitt is a fucking lucky mitt, like, I actually think that shit matters to people. Now, I do understand that there's just being flat out wrong. But also, to progress the game and move forward, somebody has to do the home brewing. And all I have to say is that Mech Tyson never lost a regular season THL game. Just saying. Just putting that out there. However, to your point of testing a deck and just having it prove wrong, yes, I did uproot twice in one game, but that was also the last time we ever saw Beast fucking Ancient of War Druid. Razor Fen for the fucking win.
Yeah. I mean, if someone's confident in it, then they should be confident enough to test it in practice.
True.
And if it performs well there, then great. Let's go. Let's bring it.
Let's do it. All right. So, what else we got here? Arcane THL wants to know, with both Team Rank 5 and Team Discord, by the way, fucking shameless plug for your own team. Come on, you're better than that. You're better than that, Arcane. You know you are. Alright, sorry. With both Team Rank 5 and Team Discord plus Inbulk, aka Entropy, both 20 to 4ing their opponents, do you see a possible collision course between these two teams in the finals? Go ahead, Mange. No, go ahead. Go.
I'll settle for beating his energy in week 2 and not worry about week 3 when week 3 is coming around. I don't know.
So here's my response. It's week 1. I think the likelihood of Entropy and Team Rank 5 meeting in the finals is just as high as Temporal Legends and Team Golden Wisp meeting in the finals. There's still 6 weeks left to play. And, I mean, it looks good, but it's 1 week, guys. It's 1 week. That's my response. Boombas, as an outsider, you're not on Entropy or Team Rank 5. What does this question mean for you?
Well, I think at this point they're definitely the favorites to make it, and I think they were preseason too. So I don't think it would surprise anybody. But like you said, I think it's just as likely that anybody else could make it there. Any other playoff team could make it there.
Spoiler alert: we're losing in the semis, like we've done the last 2 seasons. So.
We'll see. I hope so, because that would mean that theoretically we could be beating them in the semis.
So guys, there's another reason I threw this question in here, other than the fact that's like one of the few questions that was actually a question in the thread and not just shitting on Zulidin. It's really fun when something like what Slim suggested comes up in the Tavern Talk Q&A. And then there's super obvious questions that we'll pull if there's nothing else, such as Arcane's question. It's not that it's the worst question ever. It's just I'd rather write haikus about Yogg.
Yeah.
So, guys, the Q&A section is one of my favorite ones to do. sometimes we struggle to get at least 3 questions to do it with. I would hate to see the segment die. I just want to give a shout out to the man that used to sit to my left, your right, for coming up with something fun, creative that's THL and Hearthstone related. So guys, keep that in mind. When next week's Tavern Talk Q&A comes up, give us something to work with, man. Don't make it so obvious. But
Be better.
we will answer the obvious ones if we have to. So for all of you who said, that's a dumb question, ask a better one.
Be better, THL. What the fuck is wrong with you?
Seriously. The fuck. So, with that being said, let's get to that part of the evening where I say, Mr. Pumbas, before we part, what thoughts would you like to share with the folks at home?
I just want Brunson to know that I have faith in him. He's got this.
Wow. You must also believe in Scientology. Mange, parting thoughts for the folks at home.
I ain't talking about chicken and gravy, biatch.
I hope that's your sign off every fucking time. THL, I loved this week. I had a lot of fun with this document. Really hyped that this show went down the way it did. Love you guys. You're fantastic. THL is life. THL is love. We will see you same bat time, same bat channel next week. Hopefully with some more amazing haikus or something in that family, because you guys ask awesome questions. Hey, should we just tell them to give us a fucking haiku topic for next week?
Yeah, hell yeah. Please. I want to do more of this. I want to do a haiku every week.
All right, so guys, there it is. Within the Q&A, we need a haiku topic. And before you start making the haikus underneath, wait till we pick which one it is, because we might use the other ones in the future. All right?
Yeah.
So haikus, the third graders poetry cafe will return next week. You guys are all fucking beautiful. We'll catch you next week. Until then, bye.